Alrighty, welcome down to the field for game one of CCS Season 8. Live with week 4. Southern California sitting 1-4 in the season. Takes on 0-4 Nebraska as the Cornhuskers are looking for their first win in a 5-game stretch. They need to win out to make the tournament.
Howdy ho and welcome aboard, everybody. Hope that everybody's having a good night. And unfortunately for these two teams, the season hasn't exactly started out too terribly friendly. There's not a whole lot of winning going on between these two programs. But the good news is tonight somebody is going to get the win. Both teams have some good chat support and already get to see a chance there for Nebraska. Did have to be turned away with some housekeeping in the defensive zone. A double save there. I don't know if the first save was enough. Thankfully, BTR got there to help out his team, and then another save. USC on the back foot early, but Nation, they survive and they get to settle into this game.
Trojans 1-4, I believe, in Big Ten play. That one win coming against number 7 Michigan State. So they're getting knocked off a top 10 team in the country. That's their one win in the year, but they're 0-4 since that point in time. Nebraska 0-4. They've opened with the death schedule of Penn State, Michigan State, Maryland, and Purdue all back-to-back. So they've not had it easy here the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, welcome to Season 8. Good luck with that type of schedule. So for these two teams, they are getting a feel for each other. The opening minute did see quite a bit of offense for Nebraska. USC not really having the chance to pepper the net on the other end of the field. They'll have to make another save, but that one, no problems for BTR. He's got Knight in support as well. Zimic with a good steal here, out of boost. Going to need a little bit of a helping hand from Creed. Also, Mincy there to go as well. The bump works, or at least the bump attempt. It scared the keeper just enough. The ball slips in, and Mincy gets us starting with a 1-0 goal.
Cornhuskers on the board early on in game one, a minute 32 in the regulation, and this is a start Nebraska needed. They've had a couple of close game fives, a couple of top teams in the country being Nebraska just last night in game 5, and Michigan State went to 5, and Purdue, Maryland also, I believe, went to 5 as well. So they've had a couple of close calls, but unable to come out on top here. As USC almost the first, it's turned away. My goodness, what a save for Creed.
Almost right back at you with a return to sender style play. Goaltender did get bumped, but the difference is he fought through it, did get a piece of the ball on the goal line, makes the stop. But that's good. USC, they had kind of a quiet opening minute. Now they are starting to get a little bit of offensive confidence under their belt. They will put the ball right back in. Here comes Crayola, going to test Mincy in the corner. Beautiful passing play. Knight has got the answer, gets it by Zimic, and it's a 1-1 game thanks to the hard work by Crayola in the corner.
As Crayola finds a pass will feed Knight through the midfield 1-1 as the Trojans find their first goal of the night here for USC. As Nebraska USC all even at 1. 2:51 to go as USC looking for a second win in Big Ten play would knock Nebraska to 0-5 and surely haunt the rest of this season for the Cornhuskers. Their tournament odds will streak down to a very minimal percentage following tonight's loss. Shall USC win tonight?
Out of the corner, the ball gets dug out. Mincy's got an offering towards net. Knight with no problems, has boost, has ball, has some options as well, but he no longer has a car. Does get blown away in the aerial demo. Now Zimic back to Mincy. Some good passing here from Nebraska as they try to set up shop, but Zimic with no boost. That leaves a lot of space for USC to get the clearance, and they will put it all the way to the backboard. Here comes Crayola. It is right through and into the net. Beautiful shot by Crayola. It's a passing play the other way. Saw a good assist out of Crayola to get them started, and now nice beat there in the air to get the goal to put them ahead 2-1.
Nebraska trailing 2-1 again. USC with 2 unanswered here for Crayola. The crown is going crazy around here, Fox. As Mincy fires, it's turned wide left. Peter off the save there for the Trojans. 2-minute warning in game 1. Are still within 1 here for Nebraska.
Still lots of time remaining in this game. A little bit of a fake, a good one out of Mincy, but not going to get the read on the bounce. Going to go for a bump. Did not necessarily matter in the end because they didn't have possession, so USC does take over. Trojans out to midfield. Crayola puts the ball up. Not a lot of boost here in the tanks. Might not matter because that's a double miss. Wide open goal, and Crayola will put it through. Not expecting a double miss there from Nebraska. A little bit of miscommunication does end up in the back of the net, and Crayola with a good finish has a pair.
Nebraska, a couple whiffs, going to cost a third goal here. It's a 3-0 run for USC. A minute 38 to go. Now the Trojans lead by 2 with Nebraska now in crunch time. kick things off in the last minute 30 of game one.
Oh, nice passing play right into the net. USC unable to read what Zimic and Mincy had cooked up. A good challenge there. Mincy with the ball and spots Zimic right in midfield, just waiting for that one. Beautiful shot. Knight in a 3-on-1 situation. He never stood a chance.
129. Now Nebraska back within one. They get that second one back pretty quickly off the couple of whiffs that led to the third for USC. They'll trade it out fast with a minute 20 to go. Now the Cornhuskers need one to level us up.
It would almost happen right then and there. Crayola with a good save. ETR to clear. It's got Crayola upfield. That 50, though, not where it wanted to go. Zimic had a slight beat on the back man, but the shot never quite happened. Instead, it'll be Creed looking for Zimic. The passing plays continue here for Nebraska. Unfortunately, they do still find themselves on the wrong end of a 1-goal deficit. Now a turnover by Mincy. Gives the ball to VTR. Has Crayola too, but that shot never transitioned into anything. And they'll give Nebraska a chance to shoot, but a good save. Final minute here. Nebraska still in looking for that tying goal. Very nearly off the post. But still, Nebraska right back at it, and the offensive pressure nation, it's just starting to crumble the USC defense.
Crayola and Feeder both had 0 boost there, and Knight was ahead of the play with half a tank, and that's a wide open shot for Mincy. 3-all, 37 seconds, as the Cornhuskers go on a quick 2-0 run to level us up here at 3-all.
Eventually, you spend enough time in the offensive zone, you get enough boost steals to go with it. The defenders start to chase the play a little bit. That's what we got to see. So good work by Nebraska. They have tied the game up, and it's been kind of an interesting, a teeter-totter affair. You know, Nebraska started the game off good. They've had a good last about 45 to 50 seconds or so. And then the middle of the game belonged handily to USC, scoring those 3 unanswered goals. So a little bit of back and forth, but it looks like, Nation, we will have golden goal in the first game here. It might happen in regulation if somebody's able to get this ball towards goal. It's going to be Nebraska. It looks like Zimic towards goal. A tip by Mincy. It's too high. The rebound is going to be for Creed here, but that collection should be dropped down. And no, it hit a player. Stays up. Maybe something here at final seconds. Crayola probably content. No, keeps it up. I'm imagining eventually this ball is going to hit the turf. It does. We've got overtime. The next goal wins the first game.
It's almost very regretful for USC. They're making a couple of touches they probably didn't mean to make. It gave Nebraska a couple of opportunities to go make a play in the paint, but unfortunately for Nebraska, they weren't able to really capitalize off a look there, as USC fortunately will find their way to overtime 15 seconds in, and we got a ball game here in game one.
Nice read there by VTR. Couldn't get the initial bounce off the back wall. Stayed with the play, made the stop, and a good dunk there by Crayola will send Nebraska packing all the way back into the Midwest. They'll try and find their way back into the offensive zone, but a good midfield challenge does eventually throw the brakes on. But Mincy with the beat, Mincy with the double on the goal line. It's good, and that's a double tap. It wasn't the flashiest because the ball took its sweet time to cross the goal line, but Mincy with a beautiful solo play and gives their team, Nebraska, the win here in game one.
It's the Cornhuskers from a 3-0 run earlier on in game one of the USC. They come back and win it in the extra period. They fought back at the end. Fox got us a level again, and overtime went their way. 1-0 heading into game two.
How about the stat line from Mincy? A hat trick here in game one, the game winner as well. That assist from Mincy was also a thing of beauty. Involved in 100% of the goals for Nebraska. And then on the other side, USC, 100% goal participation for Crayola. So both teams definitely have players who are starting to, get their feet wet here in the series. It's only 1 game old. And as many in the chat have said, apparently according to the song choice of solar eclipses, Game 5 is imminent, so we'll have to see if that is accurate. But the way that Game 1 went back and forth, I could definitely see this series going the distance.
4:48 to go. Game 2 underway. Nebraska came behind in Game 1 to steal away from USC, as now the Trojans looking to equalize at 1 apiece here in Game 2. The win is Crayola had 2 to his name in Game 1. It'll be broken up here, and the Cornhuskers 30 seconds off the clock back in the offensive zone.
Well, that's a good midfield pass. Zimic very nearly out of shot on goal. It does get deflected on its way through. I believe that was VTR getting in the way. Now we'll be watching on the backboard because here comes Mincy. Has Creed in the midfield, but Knight had that one read the whole way. Sets up Crayola. Some time, but not a lot of space to work with. Zimic with the challenge. Oh, that's a turnover right in front of goal. That's not where you want a double commit between Creed and Knight, and that one unfortunately does go. Sorry, it was Creed and Mincy on the double commit. Knight doesn't play for that team. It's in the back of the net either way.
4:09. USC back on top. Their first squad scores again here. Just like game one, we saw a 3-0 run open up here for USC in game one. We'll see if we get a similar situation here as Crayola went for 2 last game by Knight's opening goal there as he's burning the goal line 1-1 at Simic, equalizing at 1 apiece.
Man, this passing for Nebraska is really quite juicy. That is a beautiful feed out towards midfield. It's a slow roller. It's easily available for someone, even a low boost situation there to shoot. Great pass by Creed and a better finish. We are tied just like that. So the team play for Nebraska once again pays dividends. Their offensive trip, and now they will watch as Crayola tries to collect the ball. Gets dunked there by Mincy. Mincy has been a thorn in USC's side in the first game and some change so far. This one's going to be 50 towards midfield. VTR up quick to beat out Creed. Good play, but Zimic with some space here. Half a tank of boost to work with. No follow-up touch does give the ball away. Although a miffed touch there by VTR, not exactly what he had in mind. That touch goes absolutely nowhere except right to Mincy, and it's in the back of the goal. 2-1 Nebraska, and again, Nation, back and forth. It's like a tug of war.
That's what you wish for, though, on these broadcasts, especially in the Power 4 of the Big Ten, as Nebraska and USC still fighting for positioning for the CCS championships. It's 3:20 to go. Game 2, a 1-goal affair. That's Nebraska 2-0 run in the last minute 20.
Oh, here comes Creed, a chance to go solo with it. Maybe goes for the bump, but VTR sniffed that one out really well. It's going to be Crayola here with the touch, dribbling the ball, gets it by the first man. Second man's going to pressure the 50. Will glance to the side, but USC does have numbers. Well, they did have numbers, but Knight gets wiped out. That will take a player out. So back on the respawn, we'll have to come a double commit here out of USC. Knight does get the demo on his way through, use that momentum. That might have saved a goal because that third man would have had an open ball there. Thankfully, though, for the Trojans, he did get demoed. Another save here, but that one is going to end up in the net yet again. Enough, miscommunication and enough chaos caused by this Nebraska team in the USC zone. It is starting to lead to some defensive breakdowns. We saw it there again. Numbers were there, Nation, but the ball still ends up in the goal.
2:44 left to go in regulation. Game number 2, a 3-0 run, this time for Nebraska. Will we see USC come back and win it?
That'd be interesting. Have the exact same scoreline the other way. For USC right now, they're going to need to get some time out of their own zone. That's going to be a demo on Knight. Crayola, last man, makes a good play. Pitches this one up off the corner. Mincy now looking for the double, but not enough boost to follow. It's going to give the Trojans a chance to break out. That's a miss there by Zimic. Out of the corner here, we get a big deflection across the pitch. Mincy should be up. A fake out there will set up Zimic, but not for long. A big dunk for the Trojans. However, these midfield challenges, they are doing well at, hindering the Nebraska progress forward, but they've got to start turning it into offensive chances of their own, especially down by 2 here. You don't want to go down by 2 in the series, so you got to try and make a case here in game 2.
1:50 left to go. Game 2 still lying in the hands of Nebraska. And just again, a couple short weeks ago, this same USC team knocked off the 7th-ranked team in the country in Michigan State in Game 5. And now tonight, again, after 4 straight losses, trying to right the ship for a second win.
Now Knight's going to pitch this one to the corner. Zimic did get enough of a piece to hinder that one. Breaking his way through is Mincy. Another chance towards goal, but Knight, a good wall of defense there thrown at Mincy. Will set him back. That's a miss there in the midfield. VTR to clear. Mincy's up. Chance to use the rest of the boost to get one more touch. That is in danger territory here. USC looking for something, but Creed able to reach that ball. Boost tanks right here for Nebraska, very low. There's not enough corn in the tanks right now. Got to get boosted up, and that's exactly what Mincy did to get that clear. Good play here for Nebraska. They've scored plenty of goals. Right now, it's all about that game management. You have a 2-goal lead. You don't want to give the Trojans any sign of life in the final minute of this game.
45 seconds. Nebraska just trying to hold off. They're 40s away from a 2-0 lead over USC's Knights in trouble in the backfield. His feeder will be there with him. Double come on the USC side here. Now again, the Southern California Trojans, Fox, in deep trouble with 30 to go, down by 2 and potentially an 0-2 deficit facing them heading into game 3.
That double commit not going to do them any favors. Third man did just barely get a piece that's going to be put towards the net. Had Zimic had that one on target, it's 4-1. This game is done and dusted. I'm pretty sure it is completed either way, because right now time not on the USC side, although that was a tester forcing Creed's hand on the goal line. He makes the stop. Should be a Nebraska 2-0 lead, thanks to a really nice mid-game performance here by Nebraska. They got the momentum. They never let it get away. They never really gave USC a chance to set up shop in their zone, and in doing so, they've got a 2-0 lead and triple series point.
It's 3 games to close this one out, Fox. We'll see if USC can pull this one together with 3 in a row. Again, just a couple weeks ago, they beat Michigan State. They're clearly capable of winning this series. Right now, Nebraska looking all the more better here. They're, again, playing lights out. The first game, didn't quite go their way the first couple minutes. USC to 3-0 run. They turned it around late. Got the ship right, and now game 2 completely went their way. We'll see if game 3 is any different.
As this one's going to be deflected away out of the corner. Mincy's touch does end up on Crayola's car, but not for long. There's another double commit there. The communication right now for USC seems to be in need of just a little bit of a mend here, because there have been a lot of double commits. There have been a lot of instances where outnumbered opportunities like that one do come out of nowhere. There's a double demo, teams trading a player each. Will be a brief 2-on-2, but everybody's spawned back in, and Crayola an open field give and go play almost works. It is a shot on target. The rebound is still there, still available. All 3 players could have touched that ball for USC. That was a gorgeous setup, just didn't quite end up in the back of the net. That is good, but this is not good for USC, because Nebraska, wide open goal for Zimic, and he's not going to miss.
There's one, 4:11 to go. It's Zimic with his second of the night, 4:11 to play, and the Cornhuskers lead 1-0 after 49 seconds.
And so close were the Trojans to taking the lead in this game, but unfortunately that chance did not materialize in a goal, and instead a breakdown defensively gives Zimic an open net to shoot at. Now Mincy, some trouble here, gets some help from Zimic, goes deep with it. Nebraska now having to watch as this ball gets cleared towards the midfield. They're going to pepper the backboard of the Trojans yet again. Here comes Mincy, drop down shot, threads the needle. 3 players, they formed a triangle, and Mincy slotted it perfectly in between all of them.
Now a 5-0 run for Nebraska since Knight's first blood in game 2. It's been 5 in a row for the Cornhuskers. Can somebody stop this Nebraska offense at this point for USC to give them a chance on the offensive end? And there it is.
That's a good start. That's a good start. Crayola with a good kickoff play there. Stayed with the kickoff. Looked like the cheat for Nebraska a little bit, just wide was Mincy. Very close there to being available on the challenge, but that is the risk you take when you cheat up so fast. It's high risk, high reward. If you cheat up fast, you have a great chance to put the ball in the back of your opponent's net, but also opens the door for stuff like that, and USC capitalizes on the kickoff. The lead's cut in half. Now they got to try and keep it, but everybody in the USC zone, they just kind of watched as Creed danced his way right on through into the net. Great play from him, and it's a single-man effort. Creed puts them back up by 2.
3:40 to go. Now Nebraska with 6 of the last 7 goals in this series. And Fox, what's gone wrong in your mind for USC after watching these first 15 minutes of play, where Nebraska clearly a better team? USC opened up strong in game 1. Ever since that last half of the game, it's all fallen apart, and the ship has has been sunk.
There's been a little bit of communication troubles for USC, both offensively and defensively. That's going to be a deflection. Going to need some help to get the clearance. Actually, it might be a skim. That was very close for Crayola. That was something else that we saw in game 1 when USC had that offensive success. Crayola had themselves quite the game. Since then, Crayola has been held pretty darn quiet, and Mincy has not been quiet. They have made their statement very clear in this series that they want this win, and it is Mincy on the dunk, just absolutely bullies Knight there. This Knight did not have the correct angle to go, and Mincy shoves it right on through. Nebraska up by 3. It looks like the Cornhuskers The night is shining bright here in Nebraska tonight.
Hey Carlos, USC's got a win over number 7 Michigan State, and they were 2-0 in the non-conference. They've played a couple of really great teams, and there's still several opportunities ahead for the Trojans after tonight. But bad news is USC is down by 3. Good news is there's still 2.5 minutes left. Make that down by 4. As 5-1 goes to score Mincy with another hat trick.
Well, the good news is they're down, but no, it's 4 now as the ball just gets off the backboard there. Mincy with the finish. Another defensive breakdown as USC just look to be struggling when it comes to transitioning from attempting to play offense back into defense. That's where some of the communication issues are being exploited by this Nebraska team. They're just having their way right now. This passing play is going to work. BTR is going to have a go at this. Not a lot of boost. Ducks through Mincy. Chance for Crayola here to go. That touch is a little bit soft, though. Zimic will say thank you very much. Goes for a sidewall redirect. In DP goes Zimic. Gets his own rebound. Very nearly finishes that ball. And right there, the defense of USC, it just looks shaky, Nation. And Nebraska, they can smell blood in the water here, and they are looking to bury the Trojans here on DFH and not even give them a glimpse of a reverse sweep hope.
3-minute warning, down by 4. Can the Trojans make it 3 here? And it's no good, wide left as VTR is turned away there by the defense. And again, USC still with nothing in a 5-1 affair here in Game 3, where the season really starts to get difficult at a 1-5 record with 3 games to go after that.
Nebraska looking for their first win. They could go 1-4. That was almost a beautiful tic-tac-toe in the air. Didn't quite transition, but here comes Nebraska yet again. The jump there forces Knight to go, and in doing so, Knight thinks that he's getting bumped here, but the man just goes right by him. It was Creed. The bump never happened in Zimic because Knight was looking at the bump. Able to shoot 6-1, and Nation, we are a goal away from the mystical scoreline. Can't speak it because if you speak it, it will not come to fruition. But we are a goal away, and right now for the Trojans, I think they are looking forward to the next 80 seconds ticking by, getting this one done and moving on.
Well, Pete Carlos, there were 13 meetings in the non-conference schedule between the Big 12 and the Big 10, and unfortunately, the Big 10 went 11-2 in those 13 contests, so I think it's fair to say the Big 10 right now owns the Big 12. But 1 minute to go here. Nebraska up by 5 as the last minute will tick down as the Cornhuskers will find their first win in conference play.
There it is. There's the Brazil. Now you can speak it because it has happened. It is Zimic flying, floating, and driving a goal right by everybody in the backfield of the Trojans and making it look easy. Nebraska has got the swagger, they've got the poise, and they have got a sweep here tonight for their first win of the season. It comes in style, and for the Trojans right now, a tough outing. It started off pretty good, but since game 1, it has gone very much downhill.
What is that? 11-2 in the last 10 minutes?
It's not an aggregate that USC is going to be very happy about, that's for sure. I'm pretty sure at some point in this game, the mental just does eventually catch up to you, the weight of the deficit and knowing that the series does come to a close after this. Some good replay review potential for both teams. Nebraska's going to feel pretty good about this one. And they looked good. They had some great team plays. They've had some solo efforts. We saw Zimic with the aerial. This game, we saw Mincy with a great goal in game 1. If that OT goes to USC, as Mincy's going to put in another goal, ruining the Brazil. But if that goal in game 1 goes in for USC Nation, this series could be totally different right now. They would not be on the precipice of being swept, that is for sure. But 8-1, Mincy with one more for the road, and Nebraska, they are very much happy to take this one 3-0.
Well, Nebraska will pick up win number 1 in Big 10 play. They'll improve to 1-4 in this season now to save their season. It really feels like Nebraska's going to have to win out, finish the season 5-4 in Big 10 play, and at least probably advance to the Big 10 quarterfinal in the conference tournament. We'll see if the Cornhuskers can do it and put a tournament resume together. But tonight is the start of a 5-game stretch where the Cornhuskers cannot afford to lose a game.
Well, it's a good start, that's for sure. Nebraska, congratulations. Big win here, 8-1. The big-time statement game in that one, as Zimic did get the hat trick. It was Creed, I believe, with the MVP as he had 4 assists on a big-time offensive effort. They really shut down USC. USC, they had moments in game 1 where it looked like the Trojans could really start to gain momentum and be that same team that took down a top seed, but Nebraska put them to bed, and they are going to be moving into next week still alive, but like you said, they're going to need a lot more wins from here on out.
Thanks for joining us, Nation and Fox, in tonight's broadcast. We'll see you guys later, hopefully a couple more nights this week, as Nebraska wins it in 3, 8-1, your final here from Game 3. We'll see you guys later.